Hello everybody. We are doing a Halloween card pull. And I'm just hoping, I'm just going to go and get a candle that actually lights. And we'll be a few seconds. So it's Samhain or Halloween in the Northern Hemisphere. And in the Southern Hemisphere, it is Beltane. So let's adjust this. Hello, hello, hello. I'm not sure if I can see the chat. I can't see the chat at the moment. Can you all hear me? Not sure quite how this is going to work. What am I doing wrong? Ah, hello. Hello, Claudette. Hello, Autumn Rose. How are you all? I hope you're all well. Happy Samhain, Mackenzie. Hello, Kelly Douglas. I know it is all daytime for you all over there. Are you doing Halloween tonight? I thought I'd come on and do a live card pull. Okay, so I've got my little desk here. We got a one witchy. Happy Samhain to you all. And we have this other witch that I was given this year. Isn't she beautiful? So I hope you all have a lovely evening. It's a very quiet affair in my household because we lost a family member, so we're not doing very much. But I thought, what an opportunity. Hello, Nadia in Italy. Oh, I'm glad you liked the story, Frankie. It was, I went up the hills and I asked for inspiration and they gave it to me. So I'd like everyone just to ground and protect. We'll walk the labyrinth at the end, but I think let's just ground and protect first. And take a breath in, and I'm just going to shuffle these cards. So I hope you're all going out witching and ghosting and whatever it is you do. It's a much bigger affair in America. And even though it is Irish, it's really only come over here in the last 20 years. I grew up on the island chain of Bermuda. So we did actually dress up for the Halloween parade at school and I absolutely loved it. One year I went as a little China girl in my Chinese pajamas. Another year I went as a black cat. And then I went as a pumpkin. My mum made me a fantastic pumpkin. We used to go trick-or-treating. This was in the 1970s. And then I came over to school in the UK and nobody did it. I was mortified and very disappointed. And then my kids grew up and in their childhood, Halloween became a bit more fashionable over here, but a lot of people don't like it. So we have no trick-or-treating. They're all miserable. No trick-or-treating signs on houses, which is a bit disappointing. Hoping to hand out the candy. Yes, that's what we all liked as the kids, didn't it? The candy. I don't think I ever played a trick on anyone. We never used to egg houses or anything like that. We just got candy everywhere because it is the done thing. And I think I went as girl as well. Anyway, let's ground by just sending your roots down into the earth. And let's protect by imagining a candle flame at the center of your being. And then let's push that candle flame out to the right of you and to the left, to the front and the back and above and below. So know that you are grounded and know that you are protected. And I am going to call in my guides and helpers, and I'm going to ask you to call yours in. Somebody mentioned they bought trick-or-treating stuff and they'd already eaten it. That's the sort of thing I would do. I do that with the Christmas candy and I do that with the Easter candy. So I can't get it until like the day before these days. Right, okay, so card pulls. Now the deck that I am using is Marla Brooks's Witch's Oracle. Now, if you do not know who Marla Brooks is, she runs a podcast on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast, called Stirring the Cauldron, and she has some very interesting people on her show. And this is her deck, and it is literally a witch's oracle card. So start putting your names up so I can be drawn to you and choose you all some cards. So who would like to go first? Okay, Duana, blow on the cards and let's pick you an oracle card. Okay, you'll have to keep putting your names up, by the way. Okay, Duana, we have a witch's bottle for you. So a witch's bottle can be for anything you like, but this particular one has nails in it. Probably has urine and vinegar. Work on your protection, my dear. Whatever you're doing, step it up a notch, okay? So if you are doing that candle flame, also perhaps put a pyramid around you, or imagine you're in that witch's bottle, or indeed that pentacle will protect you as well. Okay, D. Let's pick one for D. What does she need to know right now? D, you have the raven. Now, ravens are very spiritual creatures. Woden or Odin had two called Hugin and Munin, thought and memory. But also these stand for teachers in the witchy world, and they will remember you if you go and give them food every day if you know where they are. If you do not have the ravens near you, you could just start feeding the birds and see what comes down, and maybe have a look at the spiritual properties or the medicine of this and see what is close to you wherever you look. Okay. Sophie. What does Sophie need to know right now? Okay, the Book of Shadows. Sophie, if you are not writing down your thoughts or journaling, it might be a good idea to start. You don't have to write reams and reams of paper, just a little paragraph of the day. Perhaps if you notice something, or if you had a crazy dream, or if you do spellcraft or meditation, write down what you did, and in a little while later make a note of if it worked. Okay, so journaling and keeping a record of the things that you do may be beneficial to you. Okay, let's pop that back in. Okay, Violet. What does Violet need to know right now? Violet, magical candles. Magical candles can be used in a number of different ways. You can use them to bring energy and wishes into you. And if you use essential oils, you would move the oil from the outside to the middle and from the other end. If you wish to banish, you would choose an essential oil and you would ban. Start at the middle and anoint it down to the end and the other end. So maybe start looking at candle magic. If you don't want to get too messy and into that, maybe just get a nice big candle as an intention candle and light it for half an hour each evening and focus your intentions on it. Okay. Okie dokie. Nisha. Nisha. What a lovely name. What does Nisha need to know right now? Nisha. The mirror. Okay, mirrors, and we have a magical mirror right here. Mirrors can be used for protection, to deflect energies. I personally don't like to do this because I don't want the karma to go on to someone else. You could use them for path working and spellcraft. For instance, I visualize people walking away when they have passed over and they're lingering around. I visualize them walking away from me in this and into the light. You could also have a look at your own reflection and learn to love yourself, okay? Warts and all, those imperfections that you see, I bet you others don't see them. So learn to love yourself and all of your little creases and your little nooks and crannies like I have, and embrace yourself because it makes you you. Another thing to think about, what are you reflecting back out into the world? Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you. Let's pop that back in there. Okay, Sarah, same way that I write my name. Sarah, what does Sarah need to know? Oh, it's the same for you. Candle magic, Sarah. And I'm seeing devotional candles for you. I'm not sure if you are, if you have a specific god or goddess or angel. Maybe make a little altar for them and put a little devotional candle on to that. Okay? So, devotion candles, great for focusing the mind. And you can push the flame with your third eye, so you can make the flame move to either side. That's a very good exercise for anyone who wishes to start working with their intuition and third eye. Okay, Claudette. Claudette, what does Claudette need to know right now? Claudette, you have the mirror as well, okay? And I'm specifically getting, what are you reflecting back? Who is making you angry, and are you reflecting that anger back? Okay, who grips your SH1T, as we say in England? I won't swear too much on here. Who triggers you? Okay, what are the reflections that you're both giving each other? And maybe you can be the bigger person and rise above it. Okay. Okay. Erin. Erin. What does Erin need to know right now? And this is very difficult because I can't see your faces, so I can't read you. So I am trying my best to feel. Okay, Erin. Call in the dragons to help you, my dear. They are for cleansing. Not Western dragons, we're talking Eastern dragons who are a bit more benevolent to people. Also, they are DNA, it is thought of. But those dragons can cleanse and clear you with their energy. They can cleanse and clear rooms. And of course, if you feel it, ask it to come into your aura and tower over and protect you. Okay, so working with dragons, they would like to work with you if we call them in. They are, to date, they are the strongest entities I've ever worked with. And I am absolutely in love with them. Okay, let's pop that one back in. Now, Dana. Seen your name a few times, Dana. So what would Dana need to know right now? Oh, Dana, the scarab beetle, one of my little helpers. Okay, the scarab beetle is Kifora in the Egyptian cycle. It is a change of cycles. It pushes the sun god Ra across the sky. These can be used to cleanse and clear. I actually put these into people's chakras and they roll up the spiritual poo, as I call it, and then we pull it out. So big changes could be possibly coming up for you, Dana. Do some self-healing and learn to bend and move with the flow of things. If you are rigid and you don't bend, you will snap off and you will find it more difficult. So using these little spiritual helpers to embrace the changes that are coming towards you, my love. Okay. Breath in. Okay. Dusty. What does Dusty need to know? Dusty working with a witch's circle. Or this could be a medicine wheel, or this could be creating protective circles, calling in the elements. You've heard me do it on my spell craftings, you see me doing it. Starting at the north or the east and calling in the directions to guard and protect this circle. Don't forget Grandfather Sky and Grandmother Earth. And these will protect you when you are doing meditating, when you are healing, when you are doing your tarot cards, whatever. Or you could go and stand in these directions. You could draw a big circle on the ground like the American First Nations do and go and stand in the directions. Okay, so working with the witch's wheel or a medicine wheel or a protective wheel to create some boundaries and to do your path working with. Okay, that's a lovely thing. They're all lovely, these cards. I just love this oracle deck. I've been working with it all month. Okay. Sorry, just moved my sprained ankle back into the shell. Okay, Yen. What does Yen need to know now? Breath in. We're picking a card for Yen. Yen, your familiar animals. Now, if this is a live one that you have, make use of its energy. Learn all you can about the animal. Could be an animal in spirit that still comes in to help you. Or it could be your favorite animal, for instance. Calling that animal to you, learning its medicine, as the American First Nations would say, or any shaman, studying the animal. If there is a particular animal you are drawn to, don't just work with it for a week. Learn, read all you can about it, study its medicine and think, how can I bring that into my life to help me with everyday life or my magical practice? Okay. Any animal will do. Ravens a lot of people have. I knew someone who had orcas as her animal. So really it can be anything. It can also be bugs, birds, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you to start looking for your familiar. It could even be an animal that you see in shop windows, something like that, okay? Maybe on stickers, whatever. If you see an animal a couple of times a day, then that may be one. But call for it and ask it to come and help you. Okay, slot that one back in there. Okay. Alex. Your name's gone off the page, so I can't see where you're from. But Alex, this is for you. Okay. Alex, you have the witch's hat. Now, witch's hats, okay? I'm going to pick up a pyramid and just show you the dynamics of the witch's hat. Okay, so A witch's hat is like a pyramid, okay? It amplifies energy upwards. It creates a cone, so it brings all of that energy from your body all the way up into the brain center, the intelligence center. So start drawing a pyramid from your head upwards, even from your feet upwards, and draw that energy up into your psyche. The idea of the dunce cap in the 50s was a good idea, but because the teachers did it in a derogatory way, it cancelled out the good effect of bringing the intelligence into the pupil's head. So witches' hats, very good to bring energy up into your third eye, your crown area. Okay, so I leave that with you. Righty ho, let's pop that back in there. A-U-Z-Z-Y, Uzi, Ozzy. I'm gonna pull one for you. What does Ozzy need to know right now? Oh, nearly went back in there. Ozzy, a skeleton key. Okay. What is in your closet that you need to open up and face in the deepest recesses of your heart? Okay, you've locked something away. It might be time for you to confront it. Maybe if it is something very upsetting and distressing that happened, you could find yourself a healer or a therapist and get them to work through it. If you don't confront it, sometimes it can come back and bite you on the bum. Okay? This is happening in my family at the moment. 70-year-olds who have not faced things are suddenly going into counselling now. So this stands for everyone. Oh, and here's my dog. If it resonates with you, it is for you as well, and you can accept these messages. They're not just for one person. Okay, so I would say to you, any of you, if you need to confront issues, don't just be an ostrich and put your head in the sand. Thank you for that donation, by the way. Confront it, because you will be a better person afterwards and you will have a smoother ride through life. Okay, leaving that with you, Ozzy. Okay. Yeah. And he's a ginger dog like a pumpkin as well, Ursang. Okay. Georgia. Georgia, what does Georgia need right now? Georgia, that says the hag, okay? And we are at the crone of the year. We are going to the really elderly lady of the year part, okay? What was my little story about yesterday? It was about recognizing the crone and listening to what she has to say. We all have a crone aspect, male and females of us, and I suggest you listen or tune in to the older inner you, okay? Listen to your gut instinct, because she knows what that gut instinct is. Your head can be wrong, your heart can be wrong, but your gut is not wrong. So ask your older inner self, that was the words I was trying to say, what you should do if that is a conundrum, okay? And also at this time of year, respecting the ancestors, isn't it? And it's difficult. I know not all of us have ancestors we would like to respect, but that might be teachers or someone with some knowledge that you look for a bit of advice. Okay, so listening to what they say. But also at this time of the year, we are rounding things off in the Northern Hemisphere. The year, to me, is the solstice, not now. So you've got a few more weeks to put things into place for that new start in January or at the solstice. Okay, so I'll leave that with you. Thank you for that other donation. That is very kind of you. Okay, Micah. Micah, this is for you. Micah, the phoenix rising again. Something has happened to you and you will grow stronger and you will rise from that. If it has not happened, it may have happened a long time ago, but look at how you spread your wings and you come back stronger than ever as the firebird. Also, maybe there is something that you need to put into action. Fire is an action, putting a spark to something. If there's a business plan that you are thinking about or a study plan, I would say go and do it, and asking that phoenix to help. Also, rebirth. Okay, so there might have been a rebirth going on or about to go on. Okay, so I'm going to leave that energy of the phoenix with you. Beautiful card, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Okay, Camille. What does Camille need to know now? Oh, Camille, the Celtic heart and the Celtic knot. Everything is entwined. Everything is connected. When we are kind to one thing, it has a knock-on and a change effect to the others. So listen to your heart. Send love out to all of those people perhaps you're not sure about, okay? Because that will come back to you and be reflected back. Maybe not now, but maybe later on in your life or your friendship, okay? So the Celtic heart weaves itself in strange ways, but we are all connected, like that Spider Woman myth. So I'm going to leave that with you. Okay, Larissa. Larissa, a name from Dr. Zhivago. What does Larissa need now? The Ankh, the symbol of life from the gods and the goddesses. Very powerful tool that I am really starting to work with at the moment. Masculine and feminine uniting, but also this is a gift of life, okay? So I would suggest you study that Ankh, okay? Sometimes they hold it with that at the opening of the mouth, and sometimes they hold it with that at the opening of the mouth. It is also a protection symbol drawn on the wall. It can help protect your property, but it's also a balance symbol, isn't it? Kind of looks like a goddess with her arms out instead of the arms up. So perhaps using it as a talisman and starting to have a look at the Ankh and see what that means for you. Thank you for that other donation, whoever that was. They go so quick that I can't see. Okay, Adrian. Adrian, what does Adrian need to know now? The Labyrinth. Now is the time to walk the labyrinth. This is a really complicated one. This is probably from the cathedral at Chartres. This is also quite a complicated one, but these are what we walk at this time of the year. You could just lay crystals down in a normal spiral like that, and as you walk in, Adrienne, think about all of the things you want to get rid of in your life. And when you get to the middle, stop, take a breath in, and as you walk out, think about what you would like to bring towards you. So as you're moving in, you cast away, and as you're moving out, you invite things towards you. These can also be used to work out problems, problem solving. You could lay candles down, but do not wear any flappy clothes. You can walk a labyrinth in your garden. You can do it once a month. You don't just have to do it at Beltane or Samhain. They can be done at any time. Great path working, moving meditations, or you can just do a finger one like this. Okay, so I shall leave that with you. Path working for you. And they are a cleansing tool as well. Okay. Kristin. Okay, Kristin needs the mirror magic. Okay. Either looking into the mirror and seeing what you really are. Look at your inner self. Look at your higher self. Learn to love yourself with all of your creases, all of your folds. I've said this for someone else this afternoon, so we're getting quite a lot of these for people. I don't personally like reflecting unwanted thoughts and emotions back on people. I actually use them for path working. So I visualize somebody walking away from me if I don't want to deal with those people anymore. If we have relatives that are passing over that are still loitering around because they don't know where to go, you can imagine that. Many different ways, but I do need to put a sort of health and safety. If you are looking into the mirror with a candle going, if you see a reflection of someone else behind you, do not turn around and look at it. Just greet them and acknowledge them there. Okay, so mirror magic for you, and start to love every part of yourself because it makes you unique. Okay, Lily. What does Lily need now? The unicorn. The unicorn, Lily, stands for innocence, okay? The unicorn is a very high vibrational, and it is even higher vibration, some say, than the angels. Okay, that could be, you could ask the unicorn to come into your meditations and to work down your chakras. Some people believe that that is actually light and not a horn like the narwhal whale. You could ask it to shine that light down into your chakras to help bring back the innocence and joy, perhaps if you've lost something and you want to get it back. Okay, if you can't get it back, then perhaps ask to be reconciled and ask that animal, that ascended horse, that Pegasus, they stand for these as well, they will help with this, to help you come to terms with whatever it is that you'd need to come to terms with. Okay. Who have we got here? Jonathan, I saw your name earlier. Jonathan Thorson, ASMR. Your name grabbed me, so I'm going to pick one for you, Jonathan. What does Jonathan need? Now, again, this mirror coming up for a lot of people. Do we all need to start looking in the mirror to see what we are reflecting to the world out? If you are moaning and doom and glooming, then that's what you're going to get back, okay? We all do it, especially at the moment. Life is very hard. But remember, if you say, oh, I don't like that, cancel, clear and delete. I don't mind that, okay? Changing it up. If you want to be a mathematician, you've got to hang around with mathematicians, okay? So what you put out, you are going to get back. And if you are moaning and angry all the time, that is going to come back to you, and we don't want that. So maybe change your thoughts up a little bit and reflect those niceties out, because it will come back to you. Maybe not at that time if other people are all doom and gloom as well, but it will come back and you will start to be a happier person if you reflect that outwards. So I'll leave that with you, Jonathan. Okay. Seeing someone in the mirror behind you. I've seen entities before, but that would scare me for sure. Exactly. That's why we ground and protect seriously before we do that sort of work. Okay? It is not something I do very often. I might do it on an eclipse, but I tend to do it on anniversaries if I know the person will not cross over to the other side. When I used to do that scary stuff, this was a very big tool for me. But I don't do exorcisms or house cleansings anymore because my guides won't let me. Okay, let me just go up the list again. Tia Maria. Okay, what does Tia need to know right now? Tia, dream catchers, start watching your dreams, okay? Start making notes of your dreams, okay? If you are getting scary dreams, maybe it would be an idea to put some feathers above your bed or to get a dream catcher. I have to say, if you get dream catchers, don't just leave them there, you know. Take them down, smudge them every once in a while, because they might trap those nasty dreams and keep them above you. Okay, start watching your dreams. You might get little signposts in your dreams. Okay, if you are exhausted after your dreams, then you need to ground and protect before you go to sleep, and you need to ground and protect when you wake up in the morning and call yourself back to you. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you. Okay, I keep touching the screen so I can see. Okay, break time. Break time. What does break time need to know? Break time. The hag. Okay, the crone, as we move into the crone of the year, respecting your elders, listening to the advice that you are given, or working with your shadow side. I didn't think of that one earlier. Working with your shadow side, maybe getting to know that shadow side, getting to like that shadow side. You know, everybody hates things about themselves. Well, we need sometimes a little bit of anger and we need a bit of ego. As long as it's in balance, it's all right. Okay? Maybe getting a stone with a hole in, a hag stone. You could use that for the sight, or you could hang it above your bed. A holy stone, the crystals used to call that. But I suggest you start looking and asking your higher self for, what would I do in that situation? What would my older higher self do in that situation? Okay, leaving that with you. I don't often go live latterly. I'm scared to death of it. That's why I'm not often on here. I don't announce it anymore because I'm a bit nervous. I spend all day shaking. Okay, let myself just ground and protect. Bradley. Okay, let's pick a card for Bradley. You're asking for someone else, I am guessing. Okay, that was over my head. Okay, right. Bradley needs to start working with familiars. So start finding out what his favourite animal is, or seeing which pets come around and give him comfort, okay? Learning as much as he can about the medicine, about the spiritual qualities. You know, if a lion keeps coming up, then he needs that strength of a lion. Imagine that lion prowling around him and protecting him. If he needs to stand up for himself, imagine that lion's head in the solar plexus with that mane and giving him a little bit of rah that day. Using the animals to bring the spiritual qualities into you and help. Okay. Let's go back up. Thank you, everyone. You're very encouraging. Okay. Jolene. Kjo. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Jolene. Jolene. What does Jolene need to know? Book of Shadows. Book of Shadows, to start making notes and taking notes, working problems out, lists. You know, make a journal. If you are someone who meditates or does some self-healing or does spell work, writing notes down, going back later. Did this spell work? Yes, no, not sure yet. Writing down little things that you remember about your dreams, things that you notice throughout the day. If you notice like lots of crows following you down, make a note of it, because it is amazing how quickly we forget these things. Don't write reams of paper out unless you really want to, just little bullet points, okay? But journaling also can get your jumbled thoughts out and onto paper, Okay, if you have things to say to people in your life that we can't, for instance, boss, families, you know, if they're annoying the hell out of you and you can't actually voice it, go home, scribble it down, tear that page out, burn it in that candle. Okay. Hello, Andrea, LG from Brazil. I'm going to pull you a card, my dear. What does Andrea need right now? A silver box, Andrea. Silver, very protective, very strong. You could do this with any box. What are you keeping in that silver box? Maybe it is your special treasures. Maybe it is the things that you are scared of. If it is the things that you are scared of, maybe call in your guides, angels, helpers, maybe put a circle around you and see if you can confront it at a later age with a different mindset. If it is nasty stuff that you need to work through, asking a healer or asking a therapist to help you with those things, but confronting those things rather than leaving them to fester would be the way to go. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you. It could just be that you need a spiritual box to put those gifts in that you get given in the spirit world when you do meditations. Okay, leaving that with you. Thank you to whoever else donated up there. That is very kind of you. Okay, let's have a look. Jolene. Oh, Jolene. Okay, I was spot on there. That's lucky then. Thank you. Okay, Misty, Mimi, Misty, whatever. Misty, we'll go with that name. What does Misty need to know now? Misty, the full moon. Okay, so full moon can be a bit of a problem for some people. Making sure you keep yourself grounded at that time if you are one of those people. For me personally, I go on a learning curve, so I will get into a subject and I will research and work with that subject. But it could be that this is the time that for things come to fruition. So start watching the moon phases. If you are someone who gets a little headachy, making sure you ground a bit more at full moon. You can get free moon apps to put on your phone and you can keep an eye on it, because when it's cloudy for days, we forget where the moon phases is. But whatever it is, full moon is either your time or it is a time to just quieten down and ground yourself. Things are brought to us. That is the best time, when it's just coming up to full moon, to ask for those things. Put that out there, okay? If a light needs to be illuminated on something, you can ask the light of the moon to illuminate things. We had something very nasty happen in our family, and I actually asked the moon to shine light on the perpetrators, and it worked. Okay, so the moon can be used for a number of things, and I'm going to leave that with you. Okay, messages are disappearing. Okay, Sabine. Sabine, what does Sabine need? Okay. Oh, we have two for you, Sabine, you lucky lady. Okay, pentagram. Excellent for balancing and protection. Let me put this one there. Okay, you can stand like a pentagram. Acacia, earth, air, fire, water. Okay, you could just balance by standing like that Leonardo da Vinci. You can also explore each different one. Okay, so using the pentagram for protection and balance. Okay. Then we have the magical, what she called it, pestle and mortar, so grinding things up. Maybe you are drawn to working with herb law or herb magic or aromatherapy. Look into the herbs. They could help you as well if you have some kind of medical illness where they're trying to throw tablets at you. Maybe look for an alternative, okay? have a look at that medicine, see what goes into it, and maybe look at doing some alternatives with herbs, okay? It could just be that you need to sage your house, but that is a protection and a balance symbol, and herb lore can denote very many things. So I'm going to leave that to you, okay? And herb lore is cheaper than medicine, isn't it? Okay. Amit. Amit. What does Amit need to know now? Okay, Amit, the spider. Now, I am scared to death of spiders. I don't like them at all, but they are very useful. The Spider Woman myth of American First Nations teaches us that each time a thread is woven, it connects to something else, and it connects all of us. Ariadne, she boasted, she had hubris. She said that she was greater than Athena, and she ended up being changed into a spider. These also stand for creativity. So if there is something that you are wishing to create and you do not know how to birth it yet, calling this in as a totem or an animal helper will help, okay? And the spider catches the fly, doesn't she, in her web? It could just be the symmetrical protection of a web as well. Yeah, I love them from a distance, from the length of a Dyson vacuum cleaner. I am that person that runs out into the street and asks a passerby to come and get rid of a spider for me. But they are very useful, and they are extremely intelligent and dexterous. So I'm going to leave that with you to perhaps weave your own way with your own magic. Okay? Julia. Julia, a dragon, a Chinese dragon, a protector, an initiator. Call one in. They are wanting to work with you. You might see the dragon shapes in the land. You might want to work with ley lines, okay? These also signify our DNA. Dragons can cleanse us. Now, Eastern dragons are actually aligned to the water element before any of the other elements. And koi carp jump upstream through the heaven's gate and become dragons, okay? Call one in to protect you, call one in to cleanse you and to cleanse your property. They are amazing. They are the strongest entity as I've ever worked with. And I was a baby pagan then, and we all felt them come in, and they have never left me since. Okay. Let's put that back in. Let me just go down the list again. Groovy Kim. Groovy Kim. I like that name. What does Groovy Kim need? Groovy Kim again, that pestle and mortar. So herb lore coming up for you, my love. Okay. What is it that you are interested in? Are you just interested in saging your property? If so, this is a little nod for you to do that. Do you work with herbs? Do you work with oils? Is there something for your health? Maybe flower tinctures? They are, you know, classed as herbs as well. Or the good old Celtic Reiki, going to stand and sit under a tree that you like, learning about it, going back to see it at different times of year. You don't have to be pestle and mortaring things all the time and working with herbs actively. You can just start noticing the flora and fauna around you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. Okay, going to leave that with you. Groovy Kim. Okay. Jasmine John. Jasmine. What does Jasmine need? Jasmine, lightning. Maybe you've had a shock, or maybe you need to ignite something, okay? Lightning holds all of the elements, okay? The air, the heat, the water gets sucked up into the clouds, the cold air meets the hot air, the rain comes down onto the earth, and the fire finds the quickest point to the earth, okay? So perhaps working and balancing with all of the elements, okay, to help you be a bit more rounded with things that are going on, okay? There is a Reiki symbol that looks like a double lightning strike, okay? That is for grounding and separating, so you could use that to separate, okay, as well. Using that double lightning strike to separate yourself from a bad habit perhaps, or talking behavior, when you self-sabotage, that sort of thing, okay? So using lightning to either ignite something, to separate something, or using all the elements to balance with, okay? Right, got to do a few more. I'll do, and then I will pull one out for everyone. Okay. Kim. And I'm very sorry I can't get round to everyone. Skeleton key, Kim. Is there something in your heart that you have not confronted yet that needs to be confronted? Have you been so hurt that you've locked the door and you don't let others in? Okay? Have a little think about that. If it is something you need to work with and it is very painful, then I suggest you seek someone out to help you with that, either a talking therapist or some kind of healer or shaman, okay? But don't let it fester, and you need to open those doorways, either of yourself or to those places you go to meditate at, okay? Opening that door to let you walk through to get the benefits, okay? Sometimes this work is no pain, no gain, and I know it's very easy for me to sit here and say that when I've had a lucky life, okay? So I'm going to leave that with you, okay? Okay, Kathleen, I've just seen your message. What do we need for Kathleen? That Celtic heart, protecting yourself, give yourself some time, okay? If you want to have a duvet day, a bed day to come to terms with things, if you want to hold back a little bit, then do that. Using that to protect, but also this Celtic knot connects a lot of things together, so work out the connections, okay, and do a bit of self-preservation. Ask your guides and angels to come in and help you, and put your boundaries up if you need to, okay? So I'm going to leave that with you. And take heart, things do change and nothing is forever, and that is for anyone going through stuff. We've got to have hope, and we've got to have faith that things are going to get better. Okay. Melody Kia. The scarab beetle, somebody's had this earlier. Changes in life cycles. These push the sun god across the sky, okay? They also, I put these into chakras to clear spiritual energy, stagnant energy, okay? So this is about changes that are coming up for you, okay? So learn to bend and be mutable. Don't just be rigid. If you've got to meet someone halfway, do it. But calling in Kifara, it is called in Egyptian energy, will help you do that, and it can cleanse and clear, and it rolls up that spiritual dung and takes it away. Okay? Sarah, would you please explain what the moon did for you? I won't. I'm sorry, I can't. It was basically to do with children that were interfered with. So, yeah. But it did help. Okay. But you can use the moon for anything you like. Right. I am going to pull 3 cards for the collective now. Okay. So what does everyone need to know now? You've all got to deal with things, okay? You've all got to deal with those things that you don't want to confront, okay? Myself included, I have things that I need to deal with, so I'm going to listen to my own advice, okay? The next one, what else do we need to know? Boundaries, protection, and balance. So get yourself into balance, using those elements and creating that sphere of protection around you. Okay. Whoops, that's going to fall down. Okay, and the last one is going to be these dragons again. These dragons so want to help. Everybody call in your dragons, okay? They really will help. Strongest entities I've ever worked with, and I think they're even stronger than the angels in some cases. So, confronting or putting steps in to start confronting what it is you need to deal with, because in the long run, it might hurt, but in the long run, you'll be better off for it, because it won't fester. Putting your boundaries up, balancing and working with those elements, okay? And the dragons can cleanse and clear you and protect you, okay? So I'm going to leave that with you all. But before we go, let me move this out of the way. I thought we could walk the labyrinth together, okay? Do you remember what I said about casting out the things that you do not want to do? Okay? On the way in, we think about what it is we want to be rid of. When we get to the middle, we'll take a breath and we will recalibrate. Then, when we walk out, we will think of all of the beautiful things that we would love to bring in. And it can be simple things like, I want to get rid of my anger. I want to be more patient. You know, it doesn't have to be big things. And I will say, forget winning the lottery, because that is just greedy. We want the little things we need, just enough for us. Okay? So I'm going to take this pebble, and it's just a normal stone off the beach, because I want to ground this into you. So take a breath and let's walk the labyrinth, thinking about what is that you wish to be rid of. And this will set you up for at least the next month. And we say, be gone. Now the next one, thinking what it is that you find difficult and that you don't want. And we say, be gone. Again, thinking about those things that you don't like, the things that are making life hard for you and your loved ones, and we say, be gone. And again we say, be gone. Be gone. And now we're just about getting ready at the middle And we stand in the middle, take a couple of breaths in, blow out, making space now as we walk out, thinking of the joy, the beauty and the nice things that we wish. Come towards us. 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 Well done. Now we walk out, breathe again, and imagine or stand like that pentagram. Stand and bring that into you. Make that intention to work on what it is you need. And call your dragons in. And so it is. Mote it be. And I thank you for joining me today. I don't know why I get so scared about doing these things, because I really enjoy it, and I hope you did too. And I'm going to love you and leave you now, and I'm going to wish you the most blessed of Samhains, or the most blessed Beltanes if you're in the southern hemisphere. And I love you all. I don't know you all, but I send you blessings and really enjoyed. I can hear the trick-or-treaters outside, so I'm gonna have to go. I can't wait to see them. Bye bye.